Hey there, YouTube, it's Laser, and today we're going to be talking about one of the more powerful cards in the game. And I know a couple of people have talked about it, and a lot of people talk about it, and the reasoning they give that it should never be hit, or it should never be, banned or whatever, is because you minus yourself. But that's not true. The card in question is super polymerization. Now, super polymerization is just like regular polymerization with a couple of tweaks. What super polymerization lets you do, well, first of all, it's a quick play, so that already makes it like 10 times better than regular polymerization. And the other thing that makes it really crazy, or really powerful, or really versatile, is that you can use any monster on the board. So whether you control it, your opponent controls it, whatever. And the reason that this is very powerful is because of elemental heroes decks. Elemental heroes have a multitude of fusion monsters, but mainly because of the 5 new ones, the heroes that just need an element and a hero. So if you're running an elemental hero deck, you're already running the hero part, and everybody else runs the elements for you. So a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this card's a minus. Oh, this, at best this card's a break even." No, at best this card is a plus. At worst, this card is a minus. I mean, at breaking even. Now, basically, the only way you're not going to plus is if you bring out Great Tornado or Escurito, because they don't give you anything other than a big beater on the board. And if they die, let's put it this way: when you play Super Poly, you're minusing 1, and you have to discard. That's a -2, and you have to get rid of your monster. That's a -3. But you gain your monster back. That's a +1, and then you take your opponent's monster. That's a +2. So it's a -1, and that's where everybody stops. Everybody goes, "Oh, it's a -1, blah blah blah," but it isn't a -1 because you're going to kill your opponent's monster with that monster you just brought out. You're not just going to stop right there. So that's another plus. You just plussed again because you used that monster to kill your opponent's monster. And then if they use their removal or something like that to get rid of your monster you just brought out, they minused, but to minus you, so you lost your monster. But the Shining, Absolute Zero, and Nova Master all have effects that give you pluses. So the Shining, when he dies, you can get up to 2 monsters back from your banished pile into your graveyard. They don't even had to have been used to make him at any point. So you could have made another guy with Miracle Fusion, giving you an even more advantage, and then get those back to your hand, bring your Shadow Side again, search your deck. So, and then Absolute Zero, he's like a Raigeki, and then Nova Master is kind of like Air Knight, but you have to destroy the monster rather than deal damage. So if you're not bringing out either of those 3, then yeah, you're at worst breaking even, but you're probably going to most times +1. And the way that the hero deck works is a little ridiculous. So when you're in a situation where you're super polying, you're probably going to follow up with, a Miracle Fusion or something like that. So honestly, to say that this card is a minus or at best neutral is wrong in most respects. If you're going to bring out, the Dark Hero or the Wind Hero, then yeah, you're going to break even most times. But even so, you're probably still going to clear out most of their board because, the Tornado makes all your opponent's monsters half or whatever. So, even if they have a big threat that's 3,000, that just became 1,500. A lot more manageable than 3,000. And the Dark guy is, I think, the worst one. Just the only reason he's really good is because he's dark, and most people play dark decks. A lot of dark monsters, etc. So essentially, the card's really powerful. The point I'm trying to make is that I wouldn't be surprised if, next ban list by March, it either goes down to 1 or disappears entirely, unless Konami plans on reprinting Super Poly as, some kind of a promo to facilitate more sales again, on Super Poly, brings out a new hero, something like that. Because I don't understand why it didn't get hit already, because Super Poly is super popular in Japan and America at the same time. And both of these decks, are usually in the top of tournaments. They're usually the top 16 at least, top 8, stuff like that. Yeah, Insectors, whatever, but Elemental Heroes. I mean, like when I went to the 100 YCS, one of the judges was getting annoyed because so many people were playing the hero deck, and he was just tired of seeing the same deck over and over and over and over, which is a little stupid, but whatever. But yeah, so that's my opinion basically on Super Poly. I think that it is broken. The only time that it wouldn't be broken is if you don't have at least one monster on the board, which that's a little bit of a tough situation to have in a hero deck. That deck generates a lot of creatures pretty quickly, gives you a lot of hand advantage, all sorts of stuff. So, I've seen what that deck can do. You can OTK in that deck, all sorts of crazy things. So yeah, I think it should have been limited to one, but I guess that's just me. A lot of people, I mean, I really like Heroes. That's probably one of my favorite decks right now, but I think that they're too overpowered because they have 3 tutors right now. They have Rhoda, E-Emergency Calls, and Stratos. So that's like a little bit ridiculous. They have draw power. If you're, they can play, Pot of Duality. They really don't need it though because of the amount of tutors that they have in the deck. So, and then, obviously they have the crazy fusions that give them advantage, and then they have Super Poly that gives them even more advantage, Miracle Fusion, etc. So, in the comment section below, do you think that Super Poly is overpowered or just powerful enough? I'm going to be posting my Twitter in the description box below, and as always, you can subscribe here on YouTube, and thanks for watching.